Welcome to this explainer. Look, the world of cybersecurity is massive, and let's be honest, it can be pretty intimidating. But if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by all the technical jargon out there, you are exactly in the right place. Today, we're opening up a high-level map to decode the complex threats, the really ingenious tools, and the vital defenses that shape our everyday digital lives. We're going to give you a clear playbook to understand exactly what is happening right behind your screen.
To make this masterclass totally digestible, we've structured our playbook into 5 key chapters. We've got 1, the foundation, 2, the adversaries, 3, the arsenal, 4, the battleground, and finally, 5, the defense.
All right, let's jump right into Chapter 1, the foundation, the core of security. Before we can even start talking about hackers and defenses, we have to ask a fundamental question. What exactly are we trying to protect in the digital realm?
So the absolute bedrock of cybersecurity is something called the CIA triad. And no, we are definitely not talking about the intelligence agency here. Every single security measure you'll ever encounter aims to hold up these 3 specific pillars. First, confidentiality ensures your data remains a total secret, accessed only by authorized people. Next, integrity means the data is completely trustworthy. It hasn't been quietly modified or tampered with. And finally, availability ensures that when you actually need the data, the systems are up, running, and accessible.
But here's the thing, these 3 pillars are constantly under pressure. Just look at this rapid escalation of cyber threats. Back in 1988, we saw the Morris worm, which was literally one of the first computer worms ever identified on the internet. Fast forward a bit to 2007, and the Swedish bank Nordea had at least $1 million swiped from hundreds of accounts over just 3 months. And then there was the devastating 2014 Sony Pictures breach. Hackers used simple phishing emails to breach the internal network and stole over 100 terabytes of data, unreleased movies, confidential emails, the whole shebang. The stakes have absolutely skyrocketed.
Which brings us to Chapter 2, the adversaries. Who is attacking? With the stakes that high, we have to look at the people actively trying to bring those pillars down. In the digital arena, you've basically got 2 main players. On one side, we have black hat hackers. These are the criminals, people with extraordinary computing skills and purely malicious intent, looking to disrupt things or make a quick profit. On the flip side, we have white hat hackers. These are the security experts. Now, the absolutely crucial point here is that a white hat possesses the exact same skills and uses the exact same tools as a black hat. The difference? They do it defensively and with full authorization to find and plug flaws. The tool doesn't define the intent, right? The user does.
But you know what? You don't actually need to be a coding genius to cause a total disaster. Enter the script kiddies. These are unskilled actors with minimal technical knowledge. They compromise systems simply by running automated scripts and tools that were developed by real hackers. They literally just click a few buttons and cross their fingers that the attack works. It really goes to show that dangerous capabilities are becoming dangerously accessible to pretty much anyone. That takes us to Chapter 3, the arsenal, weapons of the web. Let's look at the actual techniques and some terrifying physical gadgets that make cybersecurity professionals sweat.
Okay, you're going to want to hear this incredible real-world scenario. How did one single hacker manage to scam 2 of the most technically advanced companies in the world, Facebook and Google, out of an absolute fortune?
The answer? $100 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Between 2013 and 2015, a hacker just pretended to be a legitimate hardware supplier that both tech giants already did business with. He sent incredibly convincing fake invoices, and because the emails looked exactly like the real thing, the finance departments just wired the money directly into the attacker's account. No complicated code breaking at all, just pure, brilliant social engineering.
See, hackers are experts at manipulating human psychology. Let's break down the step-by-step anatomy of a classic phishing attack. Step 1 is spoofing, sending a message that looks exactly like it's from a trusted source, maybe by using a subtly altered domain name. Step 2 involves using a phishing kit to redirect the victim to a perfectly cloned fake website. And Step 3 is data capture, or form jacking, where the fake site captures your keystrokes, your username, and your password the very second you type them in. But attacks aren't just virtual anymore. Let's quickly run through some of the top hardware hacking gadgets. Take the OMJ cable. It looks exactly like a regular phone charger, but it's actually a tiny payload injection system that delivers malicious commands the second you plug your phone in. No way, right? Then there's the rubber ducky.
It acts like a normal USB flash drive, but rapidly injects keystrokes, typing out malicious commands faster than a caffeinated programmer. And the Wi-Fi pineapple? It convincingly mimics trusted Wi-Fi networks, so your devices just connect to it without thinking twice. These innocent-looking items can be a total digital nightmare.
So now that we know the weapons, we really need to understand the environment itself. Chapter 4. The Battleground. The Network Rulebook.
For data to travel anywhere, it has to follow protocols. Think of TCP, or Transmission Control Protocol, as a super reliable courier service. It makes sure that your data packets are delivered accurately, safely, and in the exact correct order. On the other hand, you have UDP, or User Datagram Protocol. That one is more like a public announcer. It broadcasts the message out over the network incredibly quickly, but there's absolutely no guarantee the data arrives perfectly in order, or honestly, that anyone is even listening.
And all of this communication is structured universally by the OSI model, mapped out right here in 7 layers. It goes all the way from the physical layer, like actual cables and radio signals, up through the network routing layers, all the way to the application layer, which is what interacts directly with you, the user. It's basically the universal rulebook that allows totally different devices around the globe to speak a common digital language.
But what happens when hackers weaponize this normal network traffic? Well, that is a DDoS, or Distributed Denial of Service attack. A hacker commands a botnet, which is basically a massive zombie army of hijacked devices, to simultaneously bombard a specific server with requests. It eats up all the available bandwidth, totally exhausts the server, and causes the entire system to crash, locking out all legitimate users.
So the threats are obviously massive, but let's shift our focus to how we actually fight back. Chapter 5. The Defense, Your Security Shield.
The essential toolkit used by the good guys includes operating systems like Kali Linux, which provides a full environment totally dedicated to penetration testing. You've got Nmap, which maps out entire networks to find open and vulnerable ports. Metasploit allows defenders to simulate attacks to find those hidden weaknesses. And Burp Suite is the absolute go-to for testing web application security. IT professionals use these free tools proactively to hunt down the vulnerabilities way before the criminals do. But here is a truly fascinating question. How do defenders actually monitor this battleground in real time? I mean, how do you look at invisible packets of data flying through the air or zipping through cables? Well, the answer is Wireshark. It's an open-source network protocol analyzer. Basically, think of it as a digital microscope. It captures raw data packets transmitted over the network in real time, allowing security engineers to zoom in and inspect the exact source, destination, and payload of any network traffic. It is literally the ultimate tool for spotting unusual behavior or diagnosing a breach. Now, for those of us who aren't network engineers, everyday defense comes down to these fundamental steps. First, multi-factor authentication. This ensures that even if a hacker magically gets your password, they're stopped cold because they still need your physical device. Second, regular patch updates. Close up all those newly discovered vulnerabilities that hackers love to exploit. Third, firewalls and antivirus monitor the traffic and block known malware. And fourth, data encryption ensures that even if your data is somehow intercepted, it is totally unreadable without the cryptographic key.
But ultimately, there is one absolutely critical takeaway from all our source material today. While tools sound powerful, the majority of attacks still succeed because of a simple human mistake. No amount of military-grade encryption, expensive firewalls, or advanced software can protect a system if a user freely hands over their password to a fake website or plugs an unknown USB drive into a secure server.
So the core message of this explainer is that cybersecurity is absolutely not a product you can just buy and forget about. It's a continuous, active process of education and vigilance. The digital playbook changes literally every single day, and staying safe means you have to constantly update your own awareness.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to consider. In a world of incredibly sophisticated cyber arsenals, is your own digital behavior the weakest link? Thank you so much for joining us on this explainer. Stay vigilant, stay curious, and always think twice before you click.